We're going to take the North and never give it back.
So that's a good pick. You get the corner. I got to go bold, right? I got to go bold for this.
Yeah, she's got some nice.
Welcome back to the Unbearable Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Barron. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're out there on YouTube, and also rate the show 5 stars everywhere that you get your podcast. What is good? 3 days in a row, we've had some shows out there on YouTube. For those that didn't, we go live every Monday to break down the film live on YouTube. And lots of good stuff that we saw on tape. Lots of bad stuff that we saw on tape as well. If you haven't already, check it out. I'll probably talk a little bit about that today. So, what's good? What is good, everyone? Shidrax is out there. Joe's out there already. Hope all is doing well. And I hope all of y'all have a great and happy Thanksgiving. Drive safe and have a great Black Friday too. Like I'm a big shopper with that. That's when I get all the Christmas gifts and stuff like that. So always a great and busy time of the year. But man, let's get into this breakdown. And as we always do, we'll break down the injuries, we'll break down the opponents, we'll break down the offense, the defense, the special teams, and who has the edge. And last, the game predictions. Will the Bears end up coming away with a big surprise out in Detroit? We'll see. Taco Man? We'll see, right? What's good? So, and yeah, Joe already saying Lions trap game. Caleb shines with the win. I like it. So let's get into some injuries because, quite frankly, there's not a lot of injuries that are out there. Look at this. I'm thankful. Like things that we're thankful for, right? I'm thankful for this small injury report. We have, and yet again, these were just walkthroughs, so it wasn't full contact, but Elijah Hicks did not participate yesterday and today on Tuesday, and Ryan Bates limited both days. So what's good is being limited with concussion. Hopefully that's a good sign to at least have Ryan Bates, who, yet again, Bears want him to be an offensive lineman, but it'll be good to just have that backup just because with Tevin, you never know. So that's our injury report. Their injury report, a little bit bigger. It looks like Carlton Davis is not going to be out there for cornerback for the Detroit Lions, but we'll break that down. Taylor Decker did not participate today and yesterday, so someone definitely look out for the left, very, very good left tackle. And Khalif Raymond, no participant today and yesterday, the wide receiver. And David Montgomery, limited participant today. Same thing with Amon-Ra St. Brown. My guess is both of them end up playing. And DJ Reader did not participate on Monday with an illness, but full participant today. So pretty much good to go. And Terrion Arnold, full participant so far this week. So probably going to play as well. So let's go into this. Let's get into this and talk about this opponent. The Lions are good. I'm pretty sure we all know this. Lions are really good. DVOA has them rated as the best team. And us, they actually moved us down a little bit. My guess is probably because of the defense. We are the 24th ranked team according to DVOA. But when we look across their team, they are the number 1 EPA per play now on defense. Yes, that's right. Did I say that last week with the Vikings? Yes, we beat the Vikings off defense so badly that we actually downgraded them from EPA per play, just the way that Caleb Williams was playing. Now, Lions are the number 1 EPA per play defense. So way to go, Bears. You're going to go against another very good defense. And then if we flip over to the offense is rated 2nd in EPA per play, right behind the Baltimore Ravens, which quietly have had one of the best offenses that we've seen of all time. So it just adds a little bit to the whole layer of just Ben Johnson being an awesome person that we could potentially get as our head coach. And that's another thing too. Just want to kind of call this out. A lot of people saying that Matt Eberflus, just his overall, the way that he's been talking during these press conferences, he's not the same Matt Eberflus. He's not acting the same. He seems more down in the dumps. So maybe something. And it sounds like some people, like depending on who you ask, some people are saying he's never going to go. Some people are saying, well, maybe with Kevin Warren, they might actually want to try and change something up. We'll see. And yeah, and I agree with Taco Man. Ultimately, he knows it's coming. Like, they're losing games. And also, Ryan Poles said, this is a really good roster. And you hear Jalen Johnson going out on a show as well saying, this is a win now roster. And that's why I think that you saw them so frustrated, because you typically don't see people that frustrated with like a rookie performance like what Caleb was having. But this team thinks that they can win now because they have a lot of veterans. They've been losing for so long, and that's why they feel like they need to win. So let's go in to the offense and break this down, because like we said, this defense really, really good. They are third in expected points contributed by this defense, but in that same stat, they're first in pass defense for expected points contributed. Yet again, Bears passing offense whooped up on the Vikings, so they got lowered. Vikings got raised. But then, or the Lions got raised. And then with the Lions, 11th in expected points contributed by their rushing defense. But when we look at the stats a little bit more, we also see the third highest interception rate at 3.5%, first in EPA per pass, 8th in EPA per rush, and also 5th rushing yards per game allowed at 94.9. So good run defense that we're going to be going against. 16th in yards per carry at 4.3. But overall, they're good. They stack the box, the 5th most in the NFL. So this defense is really good. Even though that Aiden Hutchinson is not out there, they're still able to get some pressures. They're 4th in pressures in the NFL. They've also blitzed the 4th highest amount in the NFL and the 5th highest pressure rate at 26.3. And really, with the addition of Zadarius Smith at that defensive end spot, he's really good. And then you look at their D-line, Aleem McNeil, very good. Arunza Rike, I'm going to get that name one of these times that we break down the Lions. It's one of those names that in my head I can hear it, but I just can't say it. I just can't say it overall. But their sack leader is actually Aiden Hutchinson, even though he didn't play. He's only played like a handful of games, 5 total games, 7.5 sacks. But next is McNeil at 3.5. So the sack numbers might not have really been there, but they're still going to get some pressure on the quarterback. So something to look out for. And also Aaron Glenn, phenomenal defensive coordinator. He's going to be sending blitzes. He's going to be coming after the quarterback. And they have some pretty darn good players in the back, in the secondary too. You have Brian Branch, PFF's 3rd highest graded safety. You also have Joseph, who is the first number 1 graded safety in the league. And then now you have your linebackers, where the linebackers are playing well. Jack Campbell, the 11th highest graded linebacker in the league. And also Rodriguez, which is also the 10th highest graded linebacker in the league. That's why the defense is so good. Linebackers are playing well. Safeties are playing elite. Defensive line is playing well. In the corners, you have Carlton Davis, just good, 18th highest graded corner in the NFL according to PFF. But then, like we said, they have an injury on the outside. Now, if Terrion Arnold is back, that'll be good for them. But if anyone goes down on that outside, look for Kindle Vildor to potentially be out there at the outside corner spot with a whopping 38.7 PFF grade. So Kindle Vildor is still playing like Kindle Vildor out there. Aaron Glenn cannot fix that. So also Amik Robertson, their slot corner, just good, right? All around, good defense. They wanted to try and overhaul that secondary. Well coached, good players. It's a good defense. And that is something that we're going to have to flip over to this offense and really kind of focus in on. Now, we're going to be trying to get the ball out quick, as we have been before. But when we were watching the tape, there's a couple opportunities downfield that I know we called out on tape that, hey, you know what? They kind of know that there's those shorter passes coming in. So you can switch it up a little bit. But hey, Thomas Brown, I trust the guy. I trust him so far. It's 2 weeks, but like they've said, he comes in with intention. He has a specific game plan that he wants to run, and he implements it. There's no like swirls that are going on. Like, hey, we might want to run this. We might want to run this. He's very precise, very specific, and people are just praising him Caleb talked about the guy's aura, and he even talked about it too. He's like, well, thank you. He kind of highlighted just how he communicates as something that he really like, how he just kind of focuses in on that. So really cool stuff. But yeah, Shy Jack's out there saying, I'm going to drool all over Ben Johnson's all 22. I probably will. I probably will. I want to see it. Like, honestly, just to break it down, just because, we only have so many hours in a day. I don't break down Ben Johnson tape, but man, yeah, it'll probably be Friday then. Yeah, Friday, or maybe, I don't know. I haven't really thought about that, whether it's going to be Friday or it's going to be on Monday. I'll let you all know, because it might be good to get it done, but at the same time, it might be good to just keep it as the whole Monday type of thing, because I know a lot of people are doing things, over the weekend. So I'll think about it. I'll think about it when we'll do that. But yeah, Joe saying Flu's trying to take credit for hiring Thomas Brown, but it was Poles. And Vildor's bad, yeah. And so let's talk about this offense, though, about how we can actually attack this defense. Because obviously, one of the ways that we can attack it is if one of those cornerbacks are in fact out. Also, with these big play safeties, like we said, they're going to try and force some turnovers. Caleb's been very, very comfortable with the ball in his hands. And I actually just saw this. He's really close to breaking the record for most consecutive passes. Now we just ruined it. Now we're jinxing it right now. But most consecutive passes without an interception, which is unbelievable. Just the fact that he's at least close to that is great, right? Whether he gets it or not, it's awesome to see that. And ultimately, like, I like what Taco Man said. He said, I want Allen to be bait to open up Rome. I want to see Rome. That's what I want to see. We saw them kind of get those quick little outs with Keenan Allen. I really want to see Rome Odunze out there. And also, depending on where they put Brian Branch, because he plays safety, but he also comes down in the slot sometimes. He's all over the place. He's a very, very good playmaker. And to me, Rome Odunze, like, keep doing what you're doing with DJ Moore. Feed him the ball, scheme up different things so that DJ gets the ball in his hands. And quite frankly, Thomas Brown, since taking over, Caleb Williams, 100% completion rate to DJ Moore. So keep giving DJ the ball, keep feeding it to him. He's going to do big plays. And then Rome Odunze does get open. And that's something that I really like. So let's try to give it to Rome. And let's try to take some of those deeper shots or anything like that. That's what I really like out there, because with Swift, like we've talked about, this is just better run defenses that we're going to be playing against, and we might see a lot of what we saw on Sunday, where this running attack, it still, to me, goes down to the blocking, where Matt Pryor, to me, did not have a good game with run blocking, and just ultimately was kind of just this entire run system needs to be overhauled. It just doesn't look pretty, doesn't look good. And Thomas Brown, I don't know how much he can do with this, because run game coordinator is Chris Morgan. This entire run system is just janky. It just doesn't really work. What I like, though, is I like some of the tosses, some of the plays outside, because when you get Braxton Jones in space, Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, you get them running, they're able to create a lot of space. So I love the idea of running it over Braxton Jones's side, which he's the 18th highest graded tackle according to PFF. 21st is Darnell Wright, but also Tevin Jenkins, 14th highest graded guard, Matt Pryor, 29th, and Shelton, 10th highest graded center so far according to PFF. Now, Shelton has his ups and downs. I think he has some of those really bad beats, but at the same time, Pryor and Shelton both graded in the 68s, so it's important. That's important context too. So something that's out there. And oh man, Ron's saying Brisker might retire. Oh dang. So let's see. Yeah, with his head injuries, man. Yeah, we'll just have to see. So definitely something to look at. But let's see what the other pieces about this offense too. We still have Cole Kmet. And I was like getting him somewhat involved, have him as the third target or something like that, where wide receiver, tight end. So that's going to be big. And Joe, good point. look for Caleb to continue to use his legs. That's a really good point, because one thing that we knew Justin was going to do, Justin Fields was going to run the football with his legs, and he would always go for over 100 yards against the Lions. So this is a very, they have different personnel out there, but yeah, look for that for sure. Caleb could definitely use his legs, get some yards. So definitely something for us to see. But let's flip over to the defense. So this Bears defense has been crap. It's been a lot worse than we've been accustomed to, and they're going against the great Ben Johnson, the future head coach of the Chicago Bears offense, which is second in offensive yards per game, second EPA per play, second EPA per pass, and 6 in EPA per rush. And from a yards perspective, 6 in passing yards at 243.5, and 4th in rushing yards at 150.8. And also something that I did not include as well, the defense for the Lions, very similar to kind of what you have with like the Minnesota Vikings, where they have allowed the 25th highest passing yards out there. So keep in mind, they're still first EPA per pass. The reason why it's so high is because they're crushing teams and all they're doing is passing the football. So that's the reason why it's so high out there for them. But this offense is really good. And like we've talked about, the reason why they're so good, they built in the trenches. Frank Ragnow is one of the best centers in the league, 87 grade for PFF, second highest grade in the NFL. Kevin Zeitler, third highest graded guard. He's just ageless wonder and 88 grade. And then you have Penei Sewell, 86.8. So this is what you're talking about when you're just getting elite offensive linemen. This offensive line is great. Now Glasgow, kind of a step back, 59.1 grade at the left guard spot, the 53rd highest graded guard according to PFF. And Dan Skipper, the left tackle, 51.9, would get the start if, we flip back over, if Taylor Decker, their starting left tackle, is not healthy to go. So, fingers crossed he's not able to be out there, because we need all the help we can get with this offensive line. Yet again, if you have a good offensive line, everything else is easy. Everything else is simple. So, that is something that is so big. So, let's go over to Laporta. So, Laporta, we know that, so they're starting to get a lot of these weapons, because St. Brown, we already know, big play waiting to happen. Laporta is already one of the better tight ends in the NFL. Doesn't look as great as he did last season. He's PFF's 18th highest graded tight end. But then also they have Jamison Williams, who can take the top off of the defense, and Tim Patrick, who to me is like the epitome of just like your third wide receiver. like that's who he is. He's just a good third wide receiver on this team. PFF has him as the 55th highest graded wide receiver. Nothing bad, just solid. And also when you look at the backfield, Jared Goff, 19th highest graded quarterback. Nothing amazing, but he's just been doing well. He's just been doing solid. Now he has thrown 9 interceptions on the season, so something to look out for. Trying to take over and get those interceptions is, yet again, how do you beat a great team? You make them create mistakes. And then how do you keep losing games? You just have Matt Eberflus as your head coach, and he'll create a way. He'll game plan a way. There'll be interceptions, there'll be fumbles, other things like that. But also the running backs, the two-headed monster, Gibbs and Montgomery. We already know Montgomery's going to be coming out with a vengeance, and we also know that Gibbs is just fast. And ultimately, we need to stop this run, but it might be very, very gross because Gibbs, 5.8 yards a carry. See, that's what a good running back does against an elite offensive line. And then Montgomery has 4.4 yards a carry. So, like I've said with Montgomery, the dude breaks tackles like crazy. He just doesn't run straight. He just doesn't. You have one of the best offensive lines, only 4.4 yards a carry. Now, he does get a lot of red zone touches with 11 touchdowns on the year. But to me, Gibbs is the person to watch out for. Bears have struggled with speed on the outside, and Gibbs has that speed. Gibbs is the person that I'm watching out for. And it's just, when we talk about game plan, it's going to be locking down just the running game overall, because the passing game, when we were breaking down the tape, for those that didn't watch the all 22, what we saw out there was just, I've never really seen that many blown assignments from a Matt Eberflus coach teams, because no matter what you say, his team is usually pretty well coached from the defensive side of the football. People were just in the wrong position, and just it did not look pretty. We were super far back. We just got outcoached, outplayed from that perspective. But to me, I just want this. I just want us to be able to stop the run. That is my goal. That is what my hope is. But it's not very promising. So I actually totally forgot about this. So sorry about this. I didn't even break down my matchup to watch out for and X factor for the offense. So the matchup that I'm watching out for the Bears offense versus this defense that they're going to be going against for the Detroit Lions, my biggest matchup is going to be, I'm going to say Rome Odunze. Rome Odunze versus Carlton Davis, just because they're probably going to be matched up on the outside. And that's going to be my biggest matchup to watch out for, because that is going to be like, I want to see some wins out there. That is going to be the big matchup to watch out for. And the X factor that I have is, I'm going to say Darnell Wright. Because if Darnell Wright can keep that side protected against Darius Smith, actually, no, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna say Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins is my X factor. If he can stay healthy, if he can do well against Aleem McNeil, this is a very, very good defensive tackle that he's going to be going against. That's my X factor. He has to hold up. Now we can flip over to the defense, where to me, my matchup to watch out for, I'm going to go Kyler Gordon versus Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're talking about Kyler Gordon, who was phenomenal last game. He's now PFF's 26th highest graded corner. He's looked really, really good. That is going to be my matchup to watch out for. Kyler Gordon versus their best player, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Predominantly plays in the slot. It's going to be up to Gordon to really kind of lock him down. But X factor, I kind of want to give it to Williams on their side just because of his speed. But X factor, I'm going to go Tremaine Edmunds, because Tremaine Edmunds, when we were looking at why they were blowing the assignments with, why were they giving so many yards up? Man, Edmunds was just not playing well. He was in the wrong spots. It was not looking good. And just to me, Edmunds, you need these linebackers to play great, because your line is going to be caught up with their at least 3 amazing offensive linemen. So they're going to be trying to run it over to Edmunds' side. He's got to stay strong. He's got to play well. Edmunds, we're watching, because I think that you can actually get out of his contract after this year. Just saying. We might not need to spend that much money on somebody that over pursues. Just saying. So overall, though, let's flip over to the special teams, where normally we don't have a lot to talk about with this special teams, but we do today, because more and more reports are out there that a lot of people are saying, hey, they know how to beat Cairo Santos. He's a low trajectory kicker. So what they do is they crowd the middle. Now let's see if Richard Hightower can fix something like that and just protect the middle. So hopefully too, that doesn't really throw off Cairo Santos as well as he's trying to kick. That is going to be something really to watch out for. Are Santos's kicks higher? Are they higher? Are they going to get blocked again? That's what I want to see. Are we going for 2 more? Are we going for it on 4th down? That's more exciting for me anyway, so why not? It seems like we always get the 4th down conversions as well, as long as the plays come in on time too. So that is something to watch out for. And also, Torrey Taylor, he is indoors, so hopefully the ball can go soaring as well. But then also, just don't make any mistakes. I think that's the key thing. Just no mistakes from the special teams overall. But let's get down to the who has the edge. And I'm pretty sure that this is an easy, to me, across the board, it's the Lions. I don't even have to break down each and everything. The Lions have one of the most complete teams in the NFL. They have a good passing attack. They have a great running attack. The offense itself is amazing. The defense that we have has not been amazing. And then you go over to their defense. Their defense has been great. Our offense, we can't really run the ball against good defenses. And also the passing attack, I think we'll be able to do something, right? but still, this is a good pass defense. So if anything has a slight edge from the Bears' perspective, it will be our passing attack, which is something good to say, something great to say, that our passing attack might be the thing that is the thing that actually has the edge for us. And also, I think that is ultimately how we can win the game, is on the shoulders of Caleb Williams. So now it's down to it. It is prediction time. So let me know your predictions down in the chat. I'm already seeing out there too. Chat's been disconnecting, reconnecting. So make sure to get those out there. What is your prediction for the game? And give me a bold prediction and also your predicted score. Because out there we have Taco Man, another 50 attempt game. It'd be fun. I want to see more passes. It's just Swift. And actually, this is another thing too. I'd like to see more Roschon Johnson. Just if things aren't going well with Swift, give it to Roschon. See what Roschon can do. Because Roschon, he'll get you 3 yards if the defense is doing great against us. So that to me is big. Let's see. Michael saying 49-27 Lions. Hey, the way that the Lions have been playing, man, they've been blowing people out. Let me actually pull up their recent scores. So recently, come on now. The Colts 24-6, Jaguars 52-6. So they've been dominating. And then Texans 26-23, so that was close. Packers 24-14, 52-14 against the Titans, 31-29 against the Vikings, 47-9 against the Cowboys, 42-29 Seahawks, 20-13 against the Cardinals. Then their loss, Buccaneers 20-16. And then Rams 26-20. So, yeah, they've been blowing people out. They've been blowing people out for sure. Taco Man saying 30-24 Lions. The Bears giving up back-to-back 30-point games. And then also Shy Drax saying Lions 38-13. Then I wake up and curse. Mark is saying we lose 31-24 and score feels bigger than it looks. Eberflus gets fired Friday. That is a great bold prediction. That is a great bold prediction, right? And I feel like all of us, if that were to happen, like we'd be like, okay, cool, right? Like then we could get started on some head coaching conversations, other things like that. That'll be something to definitely watch out for, because there's been more, not like chatter, but I feel like there's more questions from actual people that are connected if something will actually happen, rather than no, this is the way we've always done it. So yeah, I think we all want what Marcus has. We all want Flus to get fired on Friday. That's what we'll be thankful for. But my prediction, yeah, this offense is crazy. And also, I said this before, I want Caleb to have an amazing game. Not just because I want to see Caleb have an amazing game and get better and better, but because I want Ben Johnson to go, dang, man, he's worth it. And I hope that Caleb subconsciously knows that, right? Like, I want this guy to be my OC, because when I was looking at his coaching tree, he really doesn't, the thing that's interesting about him is he doesn't have a lot of connections out there. Like, you know, he's not from different trees or anything like that. Like, he was from the Dolphins when the Dolphins sucked. And then he knew Dan Campbell because Dan Campbell took over as interim head coach for the Dolphins because Joe Philbin got fired. So he doesn't have this whole like, oh, he's from this, a disciple of this and this. Like, he's just Ben Johnson. And I think that's what's so cool is he could be that next Shanahan guy, that next McVay guy, that now you start creating your own tree, which is kind of neat. But yeah, to me, I think when I look at this, it is Thanksgiving. I think that the Lions are going to want to try and make a statement. I'm going to go 20. Oh, geez. I'm going to go 27-20. I'm going to say Caleb Williams does well. But yeah, I'm going to say 27-20, and I don't feel good about that score prediction at all, because I feel like it's either going to be super, super close, or it's just going to be an absolute blowout. So So yeah, if it's an absolute blowout, maybe we get our Thanksgiving miracle and we start looking towards the future with head coaches already. But let's see. Let's see what ultimately ends up happening. In bold prediction, I'm going to say Caleb over 300 yards again. Back-to-back 300-yard games, right? And he beats the record for most consecutive passing attempts with no interception. That's what I'll go for. But also, thank you all so much and happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I'll probably go live at the end of Thanksgiving after all the festivities are done and everything like that. But hey, you don't have to wait up for me. If no one goes on, I hope y'all have a fantastic Thanksgiving and, stay safe out there and, spend it with loved ones, friends, or just whoever you want out there. So with that, Unbearable Sports Podcast, we are out.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair, and you know that she's a bad chick.